Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here with a very important video. Now, this video wasn't going to come out today, but it's been highly requested in comments in the last 24 hours, so I thought I'd get it out to you guys as soon as possible. I just started. What should I do? Should I go Phoenix? Should I go Separatists? There's other teams that are popping up now. Should I go First Order? Should I do something like that? What's the best plan? And I have a definitive answer for you. I'm going to switch over to my girlfriend's account because she did just start a free-to-play account, and I'll use her account to better represent the ideas I'm talking about here. So let's switch over. Really quickly, guys, we're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of January. So if you guys find this helpful or you just want to be supportive to the precinct, consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Consider liking the video and throwing down comments. I love to see that feedback from likes, and then I reply to all the comments just because I love interacting with you guys. So yeah. All right, so I have switched over to the Nikki Biggs account to illustrate my points on this. Now, teams that have been popping up, Phoenix for a long time has been considered the best starting team, and to a certain degree still is very popular in the community for some reason. Separatist popped up once Arnold theorized that maybe it was a better starting team because it gets you to Padme faster. We got First Order now, and some sort of 501st clone team under Rex has been popping up with maybe a Jedi Knight Anakin lead in there. There's lots of creative ideas that are popping up. But I'm here to explain to you why it doesn't really matter. Now, I might be wondering what I mean by it doesn't matter. A starting team should seem like an important idea. It helps you climb in squad arena. It helps you prepare for legendary characters. All sorts of stuff that free-to-play new players who haven't gone through the processes of this game are looking for in a team. And to a certain degree, you'd be right. Those are important things. But there's something that we have to take into consideration, and that is timing. Now, what I mean by that is we all, for the most part, agree that Grand Arena is the pinnacle of this game. We all work towards improving our roster to get good at Grand Arena because it's kind of where the main meat of the content of this game lies. And if you're not into Grand Arena, if you're just here to build up a roster for fun, collect, then obviously the tips I'm going to talk about for Grand Arena purposes won't really apply. So the first thing we need to know about Grand Arena is you can't join for a long time. You can't join till you're 600,000 galactic power, and then you hop into Division 11. You can finally compete. In Division 11, you're going to need 3 offensive teams and an offensive fleet, 3 defensive teams, and a defensive fleet, which gives us a total of, well, if we only count the characters, not the fleets, we need 6 teams for a large majority of the early Grand Arena farm. Now, because building up all that galactic power takes quite a while, if teams aren't complete, or if we go slightly slower in some areas with respect to going faster in other areas, it's not really a downside whatsoever. And what I mean by that is if you have like 1 or 2 characters from a squad, like if you have 1 or 2 characters from a bounty hunter squad, you're not going to need a full bounty hunter squad because you're not going to be in Grand Arena. So you can put aside certain farms in one area in order to speed up farms in another area. All that matters is that we time it perfectly so that everything comes together at that 600,000 galactic power mark when we first enter Grand Arena, so that when we first enter, we're more prepared than our opponents, allowing us a huge advantage to win, likely to never lose if we prepare well enough, all the way through the early stages of Grand Arena and into the mid-game. So let's just say that Phoenix and Separatists are the 2 main teams. Which one should you choose? To be honest, it doesn't really matter. In my opinion, and I believe this to be correct, if you disagree, obviously, drop a comment. Starting teams really only matter till about level 40 to level 50, when you only really have one team because you haven't spent enough time in the game to come across the shards to unlock a bunch of other characters. So you grind up either Separatist or Phoenix, it doesn't really matter, up until that 40 to 50 mark, and then we start to branch out. I have a bunch of guides. I have a playlist on here. At the end of the video, it will be the linked playlist. So if you stay till the end, you'll be able to see it. I have a bunch of different guides, early to mid-game farms, stuff like that. The 2020 guide, the 2021 guide will come out soon. You guys can check all of those videos out. But what we want to start to do as early as humanly possible is start to diversify into other teams to choose out which teams we're going to use in that first stage of Grand Arena and start to plan and prepare to get those teams. Now, if I go over into Nikki's characters, as you can see, she's only 200,000 GP. She's been playing for a little over a month, and she has quite a few characters, maybe more diverse than some people would think. But if we hop into squads, she doesn't just have a strong Separatist or a strong Empire or something. She has her teams kind of evened out pretty much. If you can take a look, she has her teams evened out. It's only 5 teams at the moment. I think she's still trying to figure out which of the 6 team she's going to use, and obviously I'm helping her with that. But what you'll notice is she's preparing 3 high-powered offensive teams to get good banners, as in her Jedi, her bounty hunters, and then Empire, and then eventually transforms that into a Darth Vader solo, as well as 2 defensive teams, a Geonosian team, and a leftover Rebels team that will eventually have Mon Mothma. If you check out over here, she's starting to work towards her Mon Mothma, and you might think, why is she farming so many hard node characters right now? She's farming Bastila Shan, she's farming Anakin, she's farming Ahsoka's not hard node, Jolie, 2 bounty hunters out of here, Mon Mothma. Well, if you do your 3 refreshes a day for 50 crystals, which you all should be doing, you'll have plenty of energy to do that. And then you might say, well, you don't have energy for that gear farm. But that gear farm progresses over time. Now remember, we have so much time to 600,000 GP, so if we go slow in one area like gear, we can speed up an area like character shard farming. And then once the character shard farms are complete, and we don't have new character shard farms that we need to go for, immediately we can start to revert back to gear farms. As you can see, it's all about just getting that timing towards that 600,000 galactic power mark so that we can prepare and then enter Grand Arena effectively. Now really quickly to end off the video, if you're wondering, well, I'm new to the game, I haven't seen a lot of guides, can you just give me a quick synopsis of what I should be farming? Not necessarily why, but just what I should be farming. Okay, that's fine. Pick a starting team, let's say a Phoenix or a Separatist. Farm them until you open up the Bastila Shan node. Farm Bastila Shan and Anakin, they're both tier 5, light side, dark side. Get them as soon as possible. Rush them to 7 stars. Maybe even use a 25 crystal refresh if you have a bunch of extra crystals from achievements or whatever. Farm up your bounty hunters. Boba should get you should be able to get Boba to 7 stars pretty easy in that Cantina farm. You should be able to get Ahsoka for your Jedi team pretty easily in that Galactic War farm. The reason I have Zam and Dengar is they're pretty quick guild currency farms. So you can get them up to 7 stars, which will just progress you into that 7-star Chewbacca event pretty easily. As you can see, she's farmed Greef and Mando. I wouldn't really recommend this because they're not accelerated farms. She likes the characters because I made her watch the TV show. But they're eventually going to phase out Dengar and Zam once she gets Bosk and Jango, which along with Boba are going to be the powerhouses of that bounty hunter team. Next, we'll see that she has Geos. She's just quickly trying to star him up a little bit, get him gear 7-ish, wait for her to unlock that Brood node. Once she gets that Brood node out, she'll start to farm that, and then she'll have a pretty good, or pretty average rather, in my opinion, Geonosian team, which is more than adequate on defense in Grand Arena at the early stages. Nothing's really going to beat that. All right, I'll be honest, Nikki Biggs just called me and I lost my train of thought, but I think I just talked about Geos, and now I'm talking about Rebels. I'm farming Rebels to get CLS, and then you'll notice that the 5th slot is missing because you need R2-D2, so you need Empire. Lots of people say, hey man, if you get 7-star powerful Phoenix, you can get a 7-star Thrawn, throw them in there. But I find that EP is super easy to farm because you'll have a bunch of Rebels. Darth Vader you get for achievements, and he carries the entire R2-D2 event. Then Tarkin, TIE Fighter Pilot, and Snowtrooper are incredibly fast farms, so there's no real issue there having those 7-star characters to get here. Now, I talked about using Mon Mothma with a couple of extra Rebels. Maybe take out Old Ben, throw him with some Jedi, throw Mon Mothma with these 3, and then maybe R2-D2 or, I don't know, like Zeb or something like that. Not a powerful Rebel fighter for late game, but you want those powerful teams like Geonosians and Mon Mothma on defense to really stop your opponents from doing much. It's a little bit of overkill at that point because you'll be so powerful offensively that they'll never be able to keep up. But this is kind of an advanced thing that I'm having her try out. It hasn't been done before, obviously, because Mon Mothma hasn't been around long enough. But I'm pretty hopeful about how that's going to turn out, and I'll obviously let you guys know. So that's basically what you should be farming. A lot of this is a little bit of advanced trickery that you'll only know for playing the game for a little while. So until you start to learn about how the kits work and how the characters work, you're going to have to take my word for it. But I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys later.